So everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's tutorial is going to be a very simple one. So let's just jump right into it. I've got my fabric out here folded already. I've folded it into four. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm just going to need a few measurements for this kaftan today. You're not gonna need a lot of measurements, so you're gonna need your shoulder measurement, your neck, and your length essentially, and those are the main basic measurements that you need. So I'm gonna start off from the top. So for the shoulder measurement, which is the first one we're going to be needing, you want to measure from the center of your neck to your arm for where you want your sleeve to end. So for myself, measuring from the center of my neck to where I want the sleeve to end, I'm going to be using 17 inches and also add an inch for sewing allowance, so because I'm going to be hemming the sleeve. But before that, what I'm going to do is just section off about an inch off the top. I always do that, so my measurement will start from that inch that I section off. So I'm gonna go for 18, like I said, plus hemming allowance, so that's 18 right there. And also because 18 is quite wide anyway, so we're gonna take that measurement right through to the bottom of the dress, so it's gonna be 18 inches wide all the way along, all the way down. So that's gonna be the width of the fabric that we're gonna be working with as well. And then what I'm gonna need is the neckline measurement. So the neckline measurement, you want to make sure that you have enough for it to get through your head when you want to put on the dress. So I'm gonna start by using 5 by, so that's 5 inches on this side width, and then the depth is gonna be about 3 inches. So I'm gonna try that. So I think that should be wide enough, and then you're just gonna curve that line. From the sleeve end, where the sleeve was going to end, you want to measure how wide you want your sleeve opening to be. So I'm gonna use, for myself, I'm gonna use about 12. I think that should be wide enough. If you want it to be wider, then you can go ahead and just do that, but I think 12 for this kaftan will be enough for me. So where you have that sleeve opening ending, you want to come in by 2 inches, which is where we're gonna do our underarm. Alright, so there, 2 inches, so that's the 2 inches point. And then from there you want to curve that in and come down, so which is gonna cinch the waist a little bit by 2 inches. So just make sure you place your curve, underarm curve here. I hope that makes sense. So then it's gonna end up being, so remember before we had 18, so now because we've come in by 2 inches after the opening, we're gonna end up having 16 for the width. All right, does that make sense? So 16 is going to be, and I will take that measurement all the way down. So as you can see here, 16. So come in and then take that measurement all the way down. And then I'm gonna mark the length of my dress. I want it to stop before it touches the floor, maybe just above my ankle. So I'm gonna be using 52. My full length is 60, so I'm gonna be using 52, so that's not full length. Okay. If you're wondering if your bust is going to fit, so my bust line is usually about 10, so which is around here, and you want to measure the width of it, and then this is 18, so 18 times 4, this is going to be the size of the So yeah, and that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to cut out the pattern now, and that's gonna be for the front and the back. Alright, so after cutting out the pattern, I've just opened it up like so, and on the front pattern I'm just gonna mark where the ruching is going to go. So because I want the ruching to be on the side and not right in the middle, so I'm just gonna mark. And also I'm gonna be adding straps to pull in the dress, so I'm gonna mark from where I want the strap to be on my body, which is gonna be around 15-inch mark. So I'm gonna mark that onto the fabric, so the strap will go somewhere here. So that's 15. And then from the side where I want the ruching to be, it's not gonna be right bang in the middle because the middle is here, I'll say. So I'm gonna have it move to the side a little bit. So that's gonna be around the 9 inches point. So if that's the middle, so I'm gonna have it be on the side. Maybe I'll just do 9.5. Yes, so the strap will be here, and then the ruching will start from here as well. So I have my T point over here. Yeah, so I'm gonna mark that all the way down to the bottom of the dress, so I know where that ruching is gonna go. And that's the point for the strap, one strap. And now we need to find the point for the other strap. So we just need to duplicate what we've got here on this side. Okay, so that's the second strap. That's where the second strap will be, and that will be to tie the kaftan right at the back. And that is pretty much it. So first off, I'm gonna separate the front from the back. So first off, what I'm gonna do is cut out the strip that I'm gonna use for the ruching here, and then make the straps as well before I start doing the whole sewing together. Yeah, let's just say this is 36, so I'm gonna cut 36-inch length of fabric for that part. All right, y'all, so I've got all of the strips and pieces that I'm gonna need. So one long piece, and then two straps for the waist, and then this is the piece that I'm gonna sew onto the front fabric for the ruching. Okay, so that's that. All right, y'all, so this is the front piece. So I'm gonna put the strips first. Actually, I'm gonna put the, so I'm just gonna pin those two in place and then give them a quick sew on there. So do that first, and then I'll come back and then we'll sew the shoulders and the sides together. All right, so that's on now, and then I'm just going to now pin the two pieces together at the shoulders, making sure right side is facing right side. So this is the right side. All right, so right side facing each other, pin at the shoulders and the sides, and sew all the way down. Okay, so that's what's next on the sewing. So just go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so at this point I've done the shoulders and the sides, and the straps is in place. So the shoulders are done and the sides are done as well. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna do the sleeve next. So I'm just gonna roll that in just a little bit, not a lot. Roll it in twice, and then sew that down so that will make it look really neat. So I'm gonna roll that in twice, repeat for the other side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hem the dress, right? So hem that. So after hemming that, then I can do the ruching bit on the inside, but I want to hem that first, then I know where the ruching strip is going to stop. So yeah. Alright guys, so this is pretty much done. I've done the hemming and also I've done the sleeves. So what I'm gonna do next is put the ruching stripping where the marking is for the front. So this is the front. Okay, so the marking is fading away now, where the ruching strip is gonna go. All right, so I can see that clearly now, which is fine. So it's gonna go from here right to the bottom, so it's gonna stop where I've hemmed over there. And this is it. So pretty much I've just cut out a strip of fabric, really. It's about 2 inches wide, and I've sewn around the edges just to keep it neat. And then so I'm gonna sew this down. So we're gonna be doing 3 sewings, right? So I'm gonna place it on the inside like so. So you want to make sure that, so I'm gonna line it on the line over here, so it's gonna be on the inside, and it's gonna be, I hope you can see that. Let me do that again. All right, so this is where the strap is for the waist tie. So I'm gonna place this right underneath it and on the line. So make sure that it's on the line like so, and then pin that in place. Make sure you're only pinning it to the front layer, you're not pinning the second layer as well. All right, so pin first layer only. So now that that's roughly pinned down, okay, we can essentially see what's going on the inside. So what we need is 3 lines. We're gonna be sewing 3 lines, okay? 1 right in the middle. Okay, we're gonna leave the top open. So we're gonna leave the top open. Okay, we're not gonna be sewing at the top. So 1 straight line right through the middle, okay, and 1 on the edges. So which is going to form an enclosure for when we feed in this strap. So we're gonna be feeding it in. So that's going to be the one that is gonna be pulling the dress together on the side. So I hope you understand that. So we're gonna need 3 lines, okay? 1 right in the middle and 2 right on the edges. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do next. And then once I finish doing that, so make sure you leave your opening at the top and also your opening at the bottom, so you're not going to sew this end together. Just straight lines, and that's it. Okay, so I'll do that and I'll come back. All right guys, so this is the sewing done. Okay, so now we've got the 2 holes at the top and at the bottom. So now what you're gonna do is feed in your strap right here, the one that we're gonna be using to do the ruching. You want to make sure that this is long enough to go in and come out the other end. So mine is 80 inches long, and so I'm gonna just go ahead and fit that in. You start from the bottom, going all the way, come out to the top, and then you feed it back all the way down. Okay, so that's gonna be the one to do the ruching for you. So that's pretty much it. So once I finish doing this, I'm just gonna finish the neckline. I'm gonna be using bias tape to finish the neckline, and once that is done, then that's pretty much the tutorial, guys. I'm gonna show you the end result in a minute. Okay, all right, so the neck is done as well, looking pretty neat. So that's the neck done with the bias tape and also the ruching. There you go. And that is what it looks like. I'm gonna turn it to the right side, so hopefully that looks a little bit better. But yeah, there you go. So that's what it will look like on the side with the ruching going on. So I'm gonna take some photos. I'm gonna stick them in, and then that's it, guys. That's the end of the tutorial. So that's it, guys. That's it. So we've come to the end of this. So I'm gonna put in some photos so you can see the end result as well. I know you saw it at the beginning already, but this is it. This is very simple to make, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. So do make sure that you subscribe and also share this content with other people so they can find it as well. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and I will see you on another tutorial. Take care and have a good weekend, whatever it is that you're up to. So I'll catch you on my next tutorial.